Hey, Senorita Perez, I'm here to help you with your math. I only have 10 minutes. That's as long as I know how to make my screen share. So hopefully I can give you a very good explanation of this in 10 minutes. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to translate all of this into English, and I'm sure you'll know what it means because they're basically word for word. I just think better in English when it comes to stuff like this. So what this says is, given the following diagram or the following box and whisker graph, find the range, the interquartile range, the median, and tell if the value of 40 is considered atypical, or what we would call an outlier in English. So first of all this really is a question of definitions. So if you go back and you review the definitions, you will be able to do this very well. But I'll go through it with you. So the first thing it wants us to do is find the range. So I'm going to write that down here. Aye, el rango. Okay. So to be able to do that, we need to know what the range is, and I've actually looked it up on the internet for you. I know that it's in your book and stuff, but I wanted it to be all right here. So here's the definition of what the range is right here. So the difference between the largest and smallest values on the graph. So everything between 16 and 18 is part of this graph. So 28 and 16, not 18. So 28 would be the largest value on the graph, and 16 would be the smallest value. And all we have to do to find the range is subtract 16 from 28. I don't know why the fuck I want to keep saying 18. So 28 minus 16 is going to be our range. So that's going to be a value of 12. Okay. I'm kind of tired right now, so if I make a mistake, just send me a message and let me know I'm stupid. Okay, now the interquartile range, and this is something that's, again, it's just a definition, and I'm going to go over something really quick. Okay, so when we talk about quartiles, all that's talking about is splitting a set of data into 4 different moderately equal percentages. So each one of these, here, 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 and here, should all be about 25%. With a little bit of variation. So when it wants to know what the interquartile range is, it's really talking about the value between this point here and this point here. And if you want to go into more definitions and stuff, I'll be happy to Skype with you and give you some great explanations. And I also found a lot of YouTube videos that I'll send you that explain this very well. But for now, we're just going to work on solving this problem just by definitions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that this is your Q3 value, and this is your Q1 value. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's just because that's what the definition is. There's actually a way to find that if you have like a list of numbers, you can go through and find that. But when you look at a graph, this is just defined as Q3, and this is defined as Q1. So that's the only reason I know that, is because I read about it and I know that's the case. So to find the interquartile range, it's the exact same thing we did for the range. We just used the numbers for Q3 and Q1. So in this case, it's going to be 26 and minus 18. Okay, so interquartile range. 26 minus 18, which is a value of 8, equals 8. Perfect. Okay. Now the median, it's the same thing. I'm not going to go into the definition of the median right now, but this middle line right here on a graph like this is always going to be your median. So that's just something that you probably need to memorize for your test. It will never actually help you in life, but for your test, it'll help you pass. So memorize it. All right, so this is your median because that's the definition, and it's 22. So median, 22. All right, now this last part is a little bit complicated. I'm going to talk through it pretty quickly, and if you need more help on it later, we'll work on it. So what it's saying is you have, it's asking if a value of 40 is considered atypical, or what we would call an outlier. So not within the normal range of data. And you'll understand what that means in one of the videos I send you. You don't have to know how to do it all, but I think you'll get the general concept. Okay, and this note is really important right here. I understand it has like a bunch of fancy math stuff, but let's break it down real quick. So all this is saying is it wants, if a point, it could be any point, or a point is considered atypical if that point, xi could be any variable. We could use a here. It's just math people like to make things look more complicated than they actually are. So don't get thrown off by that. Okay. So if a is less than this equation right here, which I'll explain here in a second, or if it's greater than this equation right here. Okay, well, we know that 40 is greater than this graph, so this is the equation that we want to use because we know that 40 is bigger than what the graph is, and we want to know if it's atypical, so we're going to use this equation here. All right, so I'm probably running out of time, so I'm going to kind of do this quick. So let's see, 40, and this is a question that we're making to ourselves, is greater than Q3, which is this line right here, 26, plus 3 over 2. I'm writing this in parentheses because it's just a little bit easier to keep it cleaner when you're doing it on a keyboard, times Q3, which is also 26, minus Q1, which is 18. Okay, I'm going to switch to a pencil now. And okay, so 26 minus 18, we already decided that was 8. And then if you're wondering how I'm doing this way, it's just my order of operations. And if you don't explain this part, I will be more than happy to walk through it with you and explain it to you. And then the next thing we do is the multiplication. So 3 over 2 times 8. Well, that's the same thing as 3 times 8 is 24. 1624 divided by 2, which is 12. Okay. So now we know that this entire thing right here is 12. All right. So now we want to know if 40 is greater than 26 plus 12. So 26 plus 12 is equal to 38. Okay, so we know that 38 or 40 is actually greater than 38. So if 40 is greater than this equation, which came out to be 38, the point is considered atypical or to be an outlier. So say if the value of 40 would be considered an atypical data point, the answer would be yes. Yes, it is. So, yes. Es considerado como un dato atípico. All right. I hope this helps. I'm also going to send you some YouTube videos that explain this a little bit more. And if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. All right. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.